Okay, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in to this live broadcast. I'm just actually getting setting. I'm just getting set up here. All right. So tonight we're gonna cover quite a number of things, as well as taking a look at whatever products that we're gonna be talking about during the lab series itself. And on top of that, we are also going to be showing you tonight how you can actually get started with a very simple example um, using the workshop for IDE and then actually sending the program, all right, to the SD card and then over to the display itself. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about some of the products that are available through the 4D Systems product catalog. Before I get into that, just want to take a quick moment to also find out, um, which of you guys are actually, where are you watching us from, and so on. And also, I'm going to talk about, um, okay, so basically, I'm just going to go through some of the display products that are available through the uh, 4D Systems product catalog. Like for example, the Gen 4 series displays. So I actually have a couple of displays here. Now, basically, let's just talk about this first. All right, this is actually the let's this is the Gen 4 display. This is actually the latest in their product collection. So this is also one of the products that we're gonna touch on and talk about a lot during the lab series itself. Alright, so what I have here is actually the 4.3-inch resistive touch display. Now I actually opened this up before. I already set up a project which I will use to showcase it later on. Alright, so if you're actually new to 4D Systems products, my recommendation would be that you actually um, get the starter kits because that is the best way for you to get started with um, using the products itself. They will have everything inside the box, like what you see here. All right. Um, this is the. Let me just take it out of the box for you. Okay. Okay. So this is the actual display itself. All right. Okay. So this is actually the 4-gen universal programmer adapter, or 4D UPA simply. All right. I soldered on the headers as well. These headers actually came from Samtech Inc. So to the guys at Samtech, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for the sponsorship. And then we also have the headers that are provided by the product itself. So when you purchase the kit itself, it will actually come with this um, headers. All right. So this 4D UPA is basically the programming adapter that is going to replace all the existing um, Gen 4 adapters. All right. So this is actually where you have, okay, so how it works basically is to, you'll see that there are actually, let me bring it close and I'm going to try and focus the display. Oh, sorry. Let's see if I can focus. Okay. Can't seem to really okay. So you can see that there are actually two little slots and headers at the side. So these locks are basically for you to lock the cable, alright? And then from the cable itself, you'll be able to plug into the display. So it goes like that. So I've been using the 4D displays for a little while right now. So what I've learned from my past experience is that it's important to ensure that your cable is plugged in all the way. I made a mistake of actually leaving some of the gap, and the connection wasn't very good. So it's always good to just make sure that you have it in secure, and then make sure you lock the cable. Okay, so I would usually okay, so you'll hear a click, right? That click will let you know that you actually properly secured the FCC cable. Alright, so actually that's about it for connecting the display. This was from the original package. This is also the Gen 4 display adapter. This will actually give you the communication, the COM port that you can actually program the device, alright, using your Arduino to send data over to the display itself. So this uses the TX and RX pin. So it's quite straightforward if you are familiar with Arduino. But if you're not familiar with Arduino, or if you're not familiar with programming Gen 4 displays by 4D systems, not to worry. Um, During the lab series itself, I will actually be sharing with all of you how to actually uh, program and set up all the hardware, the connectivity, and so on. So all of that will be explained during the lab series. So today what I just want to show you is actually some of the products that are available. So this is out of the box, the most basic setup, all right? And then on top of that, we also have the Gen 4 40 kit, all right? This Gen 4 40 kit is actually for Bagel Bone. So it's for Bagel Bone Black. So I've actually spoken to the guys at Mouser Electronics. Um, and obviously, I want to give a shout out to uh, Ceres Wang, all right? She's based in Taiwan. I want to say thank you to really putting in the sponsorship request, right, for online lab series. So basically, I've also requested for some bagel bone displays. So those products, once they are approved, we'll be able to start integrating those hardware together with the displays itself. Okay, and then we have this the quite a recently hot subject that I see a lot on social media. This is actually the IOD display, or what they call the Internet of Displays. What it does is that this display is actually um, built with the ESP8266 chip, all right, by Express If. So I know that it's kind of small, and you probably might not be able to see it very clearly, but this is actually where the Express If chip is. So basically, with all these modules, you know everything that you see here, just to share with you that you can actually build your whole entire IoT smart display project with just the Gen 4 displays, right? Then in other words, you don't actually need to um, get anything else. In fact, actually, you might not even need to get a Arduino display or Raspberry Pi display or Raspberry Pi hardware development board. You don't need to get Arduino development boards. You don't have to get a BagelBone development boards as well. So there is actually a product showcase kit that the guys at 4D Systems actually told me they're gonna send me. I have yet to receive it, but once I receive it in the next couple of weeks, or when I do get it, I will actually show you guys what it is. So basically, that showcase really shows you that you can program an entire application or create a IoT project just based on the display itself without using anything else. Of course, maybe you need some sensors and hardware, but other than that, you just need the 4D systems display modules, right? So that's how amazing the products are actually. In fact, actually, before I even knew about 4D systems products, I didn't know that you can build an entire IoT project just on their hardware alone without using anything else. So that is something pretty amazing. Okay, let's talk about something else now. I'm just going to take this apart and I'm going to talk about the rest of the products. Just to quickly share, during this live lab series, basically I've allocated 3 hours for it, so I may not need to take the whole 3 hours. And later on during the lab session itself, I might have to excuse myself for a little while because I need to help my mom with taking a call, and I'll just be away for a couple of minutes and I'll be back to the live streaming. Okay, so we have talked about Gen 4 displays. Next thing that we want to talk about is, let's go with the adapter modules. Okay, so what I have here, you've seen the adapter for the Bone Black that comes with a starter kit, so I'm not going to talk about that. There are actually adapters for Raspberry Pi as well as Arduino. So you can get it together with the Arduino or Raspberry Pi starter kits, or you can actually get the individual displays and then get this. So it is really up to your preference and as well as your project requirements to see if you want to get them together or you want to get them separately. Alright, so it's actually quite straightforward. So the product comes together with the cable. Alright, this is where you can connect your TX and RX, okay, to the adapter that we saw earlier. Now, whether you are watching me for the first time or you are actually watching this as a rebroadcast, I just want to take a moment to say that I know that my setup here is not perfect, it's not ideal. In fact, actually, I'm shooting everything using my mobile phone. Um, and later on, you'll notice that I'll be shooting the monitor screen on my mobile phone as well. This is definitely not the ideal setup I would love to have. And I can't go into detail about it, but there is a possibility in the near future that I might be able to get an upgrade. So, well, we will talk more about that, in the near future when things are more serious and finalized. But yeah, so okay. Anyway, moving on. Sorry about that. We have the Raspberry Pi adapter. So I actually did an actual count, just to find out for myself. It doesn't cover the full length of the Raspberry Pi display. Let me just grab my Raspberry Pi module and I'll be back to explain what I mean. Where is my Pi module? Okay. So some of you actually might recognize this. It's actually from Sunfounder, but I always had a really hard time trying to pop this out. So I don't want to spoil the pins, but see, the pins always get twisted, which I hate. So anyway, sorry, let me just move it back. Okay, so if you notice the pins, basically the pins is where you can connect. I've yet to figure out which of the pins go where, but later on in the lab series, I will have it figured out. And during the lab series itself, when I show the how to, I'll show you guys where it is meant to connect. But my point here is that if you were to compare the pins, all right, it's actually a lot shorter, so it's not meant to cover the full length of the I/O pins. So, okay, I'm just gonna put this back because it's so annoying. What a good thing about having such a really rigid uh, socket is that it doesn't just slip out and come out. So that's good. Anyway, to the guys at Sound Founder, I would love to showcase you guys if you're interested. I know that the management is still deciding, so well, we shall see what happens. Okay, next we are going to look at this. This is let me just keep everything. Okay, so this is actually the. Let me just lay them out properly. These are actually the micro OLED displays, which I really like. By the way, I like how they're really small and really light. And I was when I received the products, I was actually thinking about some of the interesting wearable projects that I can actually build with these displays. So especially if you look at this is actually really small. This display is actually the 0.96 inch display, so it is really small. If I were to take them out and lay them out, let me put this. I'm going to put another one. This is okay. This is the much larger one. Okay, so I'm just going to talk about. I'll lay them out first, and then I'm going to explain a little bit more about them. Okay, so I think from a wearable project perspective, um, this centerpiece looks more like the one that can use for a wearable project. But hey, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Should I use the biggest one or should I use the one in the middle? But I think probably the smallest one is not suitable for a wearable device. But I don't know. Maybe you could build something out of it and make it look like a much bigger size Fitbit or something. So basically, this micro LED. Uh, okay, let me see. Where is it? Okay, they come in three different sizes, which you see here. We have the 0.96 inch display, which is this little fella. Then we have the 1.5 inch, and then we have the 1.7 inch on the left hand side. Right. So some of the functions and features that they have include the Goldilocks graphics processor. It supports passive OLED, alright, which is great. I always love OLED displays. They're designed to work out of the box, but if you like as a developer, you have the option of designing your own display using the 4DGL programming language. Now the 4DGL programming language, I'm going to show you a little quick preview of it later on using the for Workshop 4 IDE. Right? They have 10 kilobytes of flash memory, 510 bytes of RAM, right? Two GPIO ports, right? That support digital I/O, analog to digital converter with 8 and 10-bit resolution. Okay, I apologize for the phone ringing, but I'll be right back. Okay, I just got back to my desk. Yeah, I'm sorry I had to go away for a little while. Had to settle certain things for my mom. Okay, let's continue with the session. Alright, so basically, this OLED displays, what I plan to do is, I really have to think about a suitable application or project for this display, but I will eventually come up with something, I'm pretty sure. But this too, yeah, definitely, gonna create some wearable projects with it. And I think it's gonna be quite amazing, quite interesting in fact. Right. So yeah, I'm just gonna put them back in the box. Because I don't have a proper place to store all my hardware, so I am still actually keeping them back inside their boxes. At least for the time being. Oh, just FYI, before I forget to mention, um, there are actually adapters that you can use, right? As well as the micro SD card that's available when you buy the product. So they all come together. I was actually feeling a little bit unwell the last few days, so trying not to raise my voice, but I also hope that the sound would come out okay. I initially had thoughts of whether or not I wanted to cancel the session, but something that I learned through some of the online tips is that it turns out, live streaming seems to work better when we are consistent. So yeah, I'm live, ain't I? So every Monday, same time, you are definitely gonna see me here. Okay, so we have talked about the micro OLED displays. If you were to go to the 4D products website, there is actually a catalog of products under the micro LCD. From what I understand from the product team, all right, is that the micro LCD display modules are soon to be not supported. So if you are thinking of getting the products from 4D systems, just take note that yeah, the micro LCD displays are gonna reach the end of life soon. I hope I got it correctly. Okay, so actually now I want to talk about something that I'm actually most excited to talk about. So I'm just gonna bring them all up. And you know, first and foremost, I actually really enjoy what I do. The fact that this learning platform and everything that I get to talk about and to educate others about the various brands that I want to showcase, this is a huge passion for me. So honestly, I do get a lot of fun doing this. Maybe some people might feel a little weird, like why is he having so much fun? But I do have a lot of fun doing this. At the same time, I'm happy that this is an opportunity to provide relevant learning content, education, skills development for people around the world, especially when they are interested to be upgraded in a skill that would be relevant down the road. So, um, brands like 4D Systems, I honestly believe that they have a really good future, in the next decade or more. And I really want to use this platform as a way of letting people know about their products. And if you are uh, looking to improve yourself in smart display engineering, UI design for smart displays, then I would really recommend working with 4D systems. As well, there are a couple other brands that I plan to showcase on the platform as well. But 4D systems is definitely one of them. Okay, so this is actually the module on the go, MOTG in short. This is the module on the go package. All right, the whole range. They have the MOTG bread tooth. Well, it's actually basically the a breadboard version. So let me just open it up. So this is actually a breadboard version. I haven't put the headers, but actually I'm thinking of putting the headers onto this holes so that I can put them on the breadboard actually. So, and this pins that you see here, these connectors are actually for the modules itself. So I'm just going to open up, show you. So this is actually the module to go MP3 for MP3. I really love this. Like seriously, I mean, they really, I mean, who would have thought of making such a really cool product actually? You know, so kudos to the team at 4D Systems. I really love this actually. And on top of that, you know, they have this displays. Okay. So this is something that you can actually attach your modules. So let me remove it. And if you can remember, these sockets here are actually for you to attach to your smart display. So basically, you can actually attach the display and then just put this behind the physical display itself. So yeah, it's really handy. There are actually a few more such displays. Let me just get them. Ouch. I'm sorry. I know my desk is getting a little bit messy and I don't have a lot of space. Yeah, humble beginnings, right? Starting from my little room. But yeah, you know, I'm really excited about something in the near future, but I just can't share it right now. But yeah, the guy, yeah, I'm just really excited. I'm just waiting for the right time to share it. But yeah, I'm just gonna put all this aside for now. This is the bread tooth. Okay. This is for. Okay. Sorry, I just have to remove this from the screen area and show you something else. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So earlier I showed you this, right? MOTG AC1, alright, which is one of the display modules. So when we look at the AC2, AC3, they all come in different sizes. What is cool about this is that they allow you to have more slots, right? So there is a MOTG slot 1, MOTG slot 2. So you can actually put them in. And actually, it's written here if it's not very clear. I mean, if it doesn't really focus, I do apologize for that. But yeah, it does say that, you know, this is for the 3.2 inch and 3.5 inch displays. Alright, so yeah, basically this is where it goes if you wanted to attach your display. Let me focus the screen. Okay, so the modules will actually go into those slots, right, that I just showed. Okay, take it out. Okay. Okay, so there are actually a few options you can work with. Right. This is. I do remember that when I was checking them out, they were actually used for different displays. This is. Let me see. Let me just confirm. Okay, so here it does say that it's actually for the Picasso. Sorry, be okay. I know it's not focusing very well. Okay, so this is actually for the Picasso Gen 4, right? From 2.4 inches to 3.2 inches. Alright. And this is for Diablo 16. Alright, Diablo 16 Gen 4. Okay. So I'm just gonna put them aside. So there's two for Diablo 16 and there's two for Picasso. Right. Okay, so basically that's about the products, all the products that I wanted to talk about and share. Alright, it's just a quick overview. This is just a quick overview of the hardware that's available. And in fact, later on during the lab series itself, I will actually be going more in depth into each of those hardware. So not to worry if it feels like just there's just touch and go here. Alright, so later during the lab series, you actually have a chance to get to know all these different hardware a lot better, how to work with them, how we're gonna code and develop with them as well. Alright, but you should know that these MOTG modules, as I lay them out, at the moment there are actually five of them. If you ask me personally, professionally as well, I feel that these modules have a lot of potential in the future, and I do feel that we need to have more of these modules if the 4D Systems product team do recognize that as well. Because seriously, with the adapters, um, with this MOTG uh, adapters, all right, they're really good. Honestly, they're really good and they're really useful as well. So we'll go into this during the actual lab series. So yeah, okay. Now what we're going to do today next is I'm going to move into the Gen 4 display. I'm going to get started with the Gen 4 display. I'm just going to leave this right here. This is what we're going to talk about. Give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to just pack up my things so that I have a organized workspace to work with. I'll be right back. Okay, let's get into setting up your first display project on the 4D systems display. But before I go into that, I realized that earlier in the session, I didn't really talk about some of the specs and functions and features for this Gen 4 display module. So I'm just going to take a moment to go through that with you guys. Yes. Okay, so like I was talking about it earlier, you know, this display modules, the Gen 4 display modules, you can actually get them as standalone display modules, or if you want to, you can actually get the starter kits, the Arduino starter kits, the Raspberry Pi starter kits, or the BeagleBone starter kits. Alright, so this display is actually powered by the Diablo 16 processor, right? Capable of touch detection, which is why they have the resistive as well as the capacitive touch option, right? It supports micro SD memory storage, right? Which you can see here. I've already attached one actually, because I was working with a sample display module previously. There's GPIO as well as the support of various communication protocols. There are multiple millisecond resolution timers, audio generation, six banks of 32 kilobytes flash memory for user application code and data. There is 32 kilobytes of SRAM, 16 GPIO, there's I2C, SPI, serial COM ports, PWM. Now, to put it simply, you can build your entire IoT project using this smart display without using anything else. Alright, so we're just going to go right into connecting it up. Let's get into it. Now, when you get your display for the first time, your micro SD would actually be a separate part of the product. So it comes together, but it won't be here. All right, so let's just connect the display. So how you know if the cable has been secured, all right? When you press in the two locks on the side, you'll feel that the cable is being forced into it. There will be a part that is flattened out. So that's how you know that it's secure. So that's a tip that I can share. Okay, and then we will plug in the universal programming adapter. I admit that sometimes occasionally I do find it challenging to get it in, but yeah, it's quite easy actually. Okay, so this programming adapter is really versatile because, like I mentioned earlier, it's going to replace all the other programming adapters. All right, why? Whether you are using it for the IOD display or you're using it for the Gen 4 display, all right, you can use one single adapter, which is a genius idea, putting it together into one single adapter. So you don't actually need two adapters when you're just trying to change the display itself. Okay, I am gonna need my USB cable, so give me 1 second. I actually got some cable right behind my monitor screen, so Okay, let's connect the display. I will be shifting the camera of the phone camera around, so don't worry about that. Okay, I'm just gonna put this here. Let's see if I can. Hope that looks okay. Oh, I was using a different display. I was using an existing display that I had, which was a 5-inch. So this not programmed yet. Okay, so I'm just gonna move my camera onto my monitor so you can actually can see the workshop for IDE. So basically, I'm running my Windows using Parallels for Macs. I don't have a Windows workstation at the moment or Windows laptop, so I'm using virtual machine. So sometimes it can be a little bit slow as compared to actual dedicated Windows machine. So I apologize if certain things that are running takes a little while. But anyway, basically this is the workshop for IDE. Basically, I have the pro version obviously because I will be touching on a lot of the functions and features. And long before this, I already paid for the license, the subscription, which is 79 USD per year. Alright, it's a perpetual 12-month license, so you will need to purchase that if you want to have access to some of the paid features. Alright, so here basically if you were to create a new project, you have the option to select the display that you are using. In this case, we are using the ULCD 43T. Go to next. So there are actually four options that you can choose from. All right, we have the designer. This is actually where you really write the 4 DGL code. Um, this part of the lab series, I will actually go into it much later into the series because I'm going to touch upon more advanced subjects in terms of programming itself. So this would be quite the hardcore subtopic, I would say. And then, of course, we have the VZ. This VZ is actually um, a visual programming experience. Basically, it allows you to drag and drop while at the same time also generating 4DGL code before actually deploying onto the display itself. Okay, then we have the VZ Genie. This VZ Genie is similar to VZ whereby you have the drag and drop feature, right? But then again, this for this method of developing the UI display, you won't be touching with the 4DGL code. It will be automatically generated for you, and you just have to copy the program file onto your display module or yeah. Alright, so I'm just gonna select VZ Genie, I think. Let's start with that. So this is actually the very basic display. I'm just gonna maximize. So what you see here, this is actually the actual display itself, your display, or whichever display you have chosen. The object inspector is on the right hand side. This is where you can access the different properties that are available with the particular element. On the top, you have your ribbon, basically your toolbar. All right, you have access to different things like being able creating a new project, opening an existing project, save your project, and so on. um, most of these are quite straightforward, right? You have the build, copy, and load, right, which allows you to copy your files and load the program to the display. Okay, this build will actually just build the GUI, okay, and load the programs, the file. It's like F9 if you have done programming before. If you have not done programming before, don't worry, we'll talk about this later on during the lab series. Okay, so there are a couple of things that you can work with, like backgrounds, buttons. There are different kind of buttons. All right. Digit. All right. So if you want to know what a digit is, this is what a digit looks like. Okay. So I can always make it bigger, so you can see what this is. Okay, and then we have the gauges as well. Okay, so you can do stuff like pressure meters, uh, heat meters, and so on. Okay, we have the water tank as well. Right, so this actually shows you how much water is left in the tank and so on. So I do have some water pumps as well as water level sensors that I bought from using the DF robot kits. So those sensors will be used in a project showcase later on during the lab series itself. Okay, I'm going to delete. Sorry. One of the things I don't really like to use Windows virtual machine on a Mac is that sometimes it's very sensitive to the Magic Mouse by Apple. So I honestly look forward to having the opportunity of working with a real Windows machine in the near future for the lab series. So everything will be able to look good and work properly, without any sensitive uh, responses and so on. So here you actually have like sliders. Okay, so you can actually, in physically, you can actually touch the screen and move the slider up and down. Okay, we have color pickers as well, smart knobs. So this smart slider, smart knobs, they are available only if you have the paid version, alright, the pro version. So this is something that you should take note as well. Then you have the normal text display and gestures, touch, okay, simple primitive um, shapes. I don't know why I got tongue tied there. And then media as well, so you can add in images of your own choosing, photos, and so on, so you can adapt to the displays as well. Well, I won't go into a deep dive into this because what I want to do here is just to show you how you can quickly get up and running. So I'm going to open up existing project. Oh, hang on. Okay, so this was a sample quick start project that I created before the lab series. Let me just bring this out. Where did that go? So you can see that I've actually created a very basic simple display. Alright, so I've actually added two fancy buttons. I've added a dial. Alright, so this is actually the VISI, all right, which is the VISI, all right, where you will be able to do drag and drop, and then convert what you have created, paste all code or paste the code of a particular element object on the display, and then it will actually copy the code onto uh, the 4DGL editor. Maybe I'll just minimize this. Oops. Okay, so let's just, I just want to close the project. Yeah, the challenge of using a virtual machine is that sometimes the memory is limited, so I have to sort of, close the tabs so that I can save memory. Okay, tools. Oh, yeah. Okay, so basically, if I were to, so a couple of things. Once you have done all this, right from the beginning, when you start a new project, if you are using VZ, which we will touch on in the lab series, this part of the code is actually commented away. So you will need to uncomment it if you want your program to run. Then you add in all your different elements. You paste the code. All right. So one of the things that is pretty straightforward and easy and what I would recommend is to look at the user guide. There is a user guide for using VZ or VZ Genie. Follow the user guide. It will really help you with the step by step. And I will go into all of that as well during the lab series, but I'm just letting you know that those resources are available for you to look into. So when you're about to send your program to the display, you can start by compiling it. Okay. So in this case, I haven't attached the drive yet, so I will actually take the memory card. And then I'm going to insert the memory card so that I can send the file over. E drive. Okay, so it's empty. That's good. So from here, I will select E drive. Right, it will show me that I have 3.70 GB available. Click OK. So actually copy the project file onto the micro SD card itself. Okay, and then we will eject. And then the next thing you do is to insert the memory card back into the Gen 4 display. I'm going to adjust my camera in a moment so you'll be able to see, so don't worry. Oops. Okay, so let me just adjust my phone camera. Okay, so it's mounting the file from the memory card right now. Okay, I'm not too sure why it's not. Let me just unplug the USB. Hmm. Not too sure why it's not loading the file yet. Just gonna try removing. Maybe I didn't put properly. Hmm. I'm not too sure why it's not working. It should work, um, but yeah, one thing about live streaming and lab series is that this live streaming lab series is that not everything always works according to plan, especially when we are streaming live. Um, but yeah, I hope I can get it to work. Let me just try the process again. I am actually going to compile the program again just to see if I can get it to work. Okay, if you ever see that there's the flashing, right, it just means that the drive is not mounted, which is because I took it out to uh, write the program, compile the program, and download it again. It should work this time. Me. Okay, I'm not too sure why, but anyway, not to worry. What part of the lab series is that I've been speaking to the guys at 4D Systems, and I've actually proposed to them that apart from the live sessions itself, obviously, we know that sometimes during a live broadcast itself, things may not go according to plan, not always, but which is why after the live streaming itself, this video will be uploaded to our website. But at the same time, I'm also going to do another pre-recorded session, a more condensed pre-recorded session that will actually just focus on setting up the product. It will focus on sending, recording how we actually compile the file and put it into the micro SD card and attaching it to the display. So there will actually be pre-recorded uh, videos, which is actually good, especially in the post-session companion articles, whereby people who are actually they miss the live session and they want to read the article, they want to follow along, but they don't really want to watch the whole 1 hour plus or 2 hours of live streaming video. So those pre-recorded videos that I'll be doing later on will be good for everyone as well. But then again, the live streaming sometimes, if things works, it could be a good source of learning content as well. And especially, I mean, let's be honest, this live broadcast session is one of the very first few. So I am pretty realistic with myself. I know that there is not a lot of people watching live starting out. That's fine, it's okay. I know that it will take a while before the live viewership starts to grow. So for now, you know, it's fine. I think this is okay. So in the future, perhaps, we'll see how it goes. All right. But yeah, I really appreciate the time. I'm gonna end the video already. So I want to say thank you. If you are watching the rebroadcast, just know that there's going to be the companion article. So make sure to check out the companion article. I will actually put up the link to the companion article in the description once the article is ready and uploaded to the website. All right, once it's published, you will have access to it, and you can actually read more about what has been talked about, and there will be the pre-recorded video attached to the article. All right, so thank you very much. I really appreciate the time to share about uh, the 4D systems display. I do apologize that I didn't manage to get it to display and run live. Um, Honestly, it's a little bit disappointing for myself, but it should work because I got it to work previously. Yeah, because I'm recording this live using my mobile device, um, it's a little bit hard to check the messages. I don't know. Let me see if I can try doing it. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate. Bye. I'll see you again next Monday with this live broadcast. And yeah, I hope to uh, move on to something even better next week as well. Right. Check out for the companion article after this session.